Is going on, guys? I am Dan the Man, aka Daniel's son. I'm here with the great JJ Wilson. And what's up, JJ? How you doing?
All right, what's going on, party people?
Now, I want to before we get into this podcast, we're just another edition of Just Sayin Podcast, but we're talking everything Tenchi Muyo. But before we get into it, I just want to give a shout out to Danny Anime and Super Saiyan Ichigo 720. They have a podcast going on called Unbreakable. So if you want to check them out, I'll have the link in my description box. So they're going to do a lot of collab work with a lot of YouTubers, talk about One Piece, of course, talk about maybe Naruto and everything else. But yeah, I just want to give a shout out to them, and their link will be in the description box. So, but for this podcast, for Just Saying Podcast, we are talking Tenchi Muyo, and I love me some Tenchi Muyo. Like, I love Tenchi fucking Muyo. All right. So, JJ, tell me, man, like, when did you first hear about Tenchi Muyo? Like, where were you? Were you like me and you're kind of, a little bit younger and you're like, oh shit, it's on Toonami and you checked it out on Toonami? Or what's your story on Tenchi Muyo, bro?
Yeah, it was that tsunami experience. I think Tenchi Muyo, like the first one, it came out like around 2000 or was it
Mm-hmm.
99? It was somewhere around
I
there.
think
So I know I
90s.
was I was at least in the fifth or sixth grade. Catching it on TV after school and everything.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it's a pretty funny series, man. At first I thought, man, I see all these women on here, it might be too girly, but it turns out it's not really girly anime, man. It's
Oh no, it's a sexy party, man.
yeah,
It's a sexy party.
yeah.
Um, JJ,
Like,
man, I feel you, bro. Like elementary school, because the '90s, it was all about Dragon Ball Z. It was all about that Dragon Ball Z.
yeah.
And Toonami had Dragon Ball Z, and that was their moneymaker. But behind Dragon Ball Z, before Dragon Ball Z started, it was Tenchi Muyo. So I'm a little lad, right? I'm a little fucker. I get in trouble and stuff. But I'm watching Toonami. I'm watching Toonami. And I'm like, Tenchi Muyo, what the hell is this? I want my Dragon Ball Z now, and I want it now, now, now. I was like, I'll watch Tenchi Muyo. Why not? So I check out Tenchi Muyo. And oh boy, man. I mean, I think it honestly, this was like the first anime series that got me into the whole anime thing. And fuck, man, it was that first OVA. It was the one where I believe it was Ryoko was she was a demon. She was a demon because I know they changed her origin stories in some of the OVAs, but it's the first OVA where she's a demon, and Tenchi awakens her by using the Tenchi sword. It was
Hmm.
actually named after him, and it's the one where basically, like, I think it's 13 episodes. A lot of the girls come into play. They change it up in different OVAs, but I think the last episode of that OVA that they showed on Toonami for OVA one was when Tenchi was fighting that guy. Fighting that guy for Ayeka and Sasami to stay in the Masaki household. And I remember seeing Sasami and Ayeka's mom come barging in and just like totally not even think about Ryoko. Ryoko goes slamming into the wall head first, and she's like, "What?" And Ayeka's like, "Oh, I'm warning you, Ryoko. Like, some embarrassing stuff's gonna happen, and I'm telling you, do not say shit, or I'm warning you. I'm just warning you." And Ryoko's like, "Okay, whatever." So Ayeka, her mom comes barging in. Her mom goes, Ayeka. And Ayeka goes, Mommy. And you see Ryoko in the background just like laughing her ass off, tears coming down her face. It says, she called her Mommy. And then you see Ayeka and Sasami's mom just look straight at Ryoko and like, what did you say? Puts her thumbs in Ryoko's mouth, stretches her mouth, and she's like, "Oh, nobody makes fun of my little Hayeka, my little Sasami." Like, man, that's gold right there, man. That is gold. So that's, yeah, the first OVA. That's when I got into it. And I was like, "Fuck, dude!" I went to like when Hollywood Video. Remember Hollywood Video, bro? Did you ever have Hollywood Video?
No, not in my area. We had what was it, Blockbuster and Movie Gallery?
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, Hollywood Video is basically like a blockbuster. So they had
Yeah.
a little bit of anime titles, and I remember seeing Tenchi Muyo the specials, and I grabbed some, so I'd always watch it. Like, and you got that VHS, there was no DVDs, there was VHS. So you had that VHS, and I remember watching it on VHS. So Tenchi Muyo holds such a special place in my heart, and definitely is one of my is definitely in my top five. I just don't know where I would place it, but as anime wise, and the manga isn't too bad, but I think the anime is just so far superior. So JJ, man, I mean, we got a cast of characters here. We got Ryoko, who everybody recognizes immediately. She's my favorite character. You have Ayeka, her rival, who is also in love with Tenchi. You have Mihoshi, who's such a ditz but a comedy relief in the whole series, in the whole franchise of Tenchi Muyo. You have Washu, or may I say, Little Washu, who's just this mad scientist, who's the greatest scientist in the galaxy, who's actually in OVA 1 is Ryoko's mom, but in other OVAs, she's not. You have also Kione, if you go watch the Tenchi Universe series and Tenchi in Tokyo. Kione is pretty awesome. She's so chill. You have, of course, his grandpa, Masaki, and his dad. And then you have Tenchi Masaki himself, who is it's something you see all the freaking time in anime, all the time, where all these girls they're aliens, of course. They're aliens, or they come from another planet. They get stranded in a planet. They get stranded on Earth. Tenchi happens to be there, takes them in. So Tenchi has like just girls all over the place in his household. So those are the players, those are the cast right there, and they're all bring something to the table. So JJ, out of all these characters, who did you really like and you would always enjoy watching while you were watching Tenchi?
Like you, I definitely like Ryoko, man. You know, she's a practical joker, but at times she got very serious, especially when it was a fight. You know, so
Yeah.
when she gets deeply involved with Tenchi, man, you know, you really get to see her soft side in a sense. You know, because more often than not, she can be playing hard to get, but you know, around Tenchi, she opens up to him. And so I do like that aspect about Ryoko, and also like when we see her fight, like she's using her powers, and we get to see, man, like especially in that old school one, like she could transform herself into stone, like a I think it was one scene with Kagato fighting. She made herself big and she ended up grabbing him and stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, so like she has all sorts of powers. I mean, she has a control of her own ship with Ryoki, and then it's
She
kind
has
of
a
funny how when the ship gets destroyed, it can reproduce itself, and she's like, "Oh, this is my little baby here," but it's a ship.
and
I thought that
don't
was pretty
forget
funny
she's a
there.
Jedi, man. She has that lightsaber.
Exactly, the lightsaber. I mean, yeah, she was so dynamic in that sense, man. That's why I really liked her as a character. Number two, I'm kind of leaning Kione a bit
I love Keone,
because
man.
I know in that Tenchi universe, you know, she was the one that always had to look after Mahoshi. She, like whatever she screwed up, she was kind of like the cleanup lady in the back. She had to fix whatever crap Mahoshi did.
Hell yeah,
And
man. She was like the older sister, bro.
oh man, that
I love how she's like fucking. You could see her. You can see it in her eyes. You can hear it in her voice. Like you're waiting for her to cuss. She never cusses in the series, but you're just waiting for her to say fucking Kyo or fucking Mihoshi. God damn it,
yeah
Mihoshi! Like she gets so frustrated, and Mihoshi is just a mess, man. She's just a mess.
yeah. So
Um,
Keone would definitely be my number two. Number three, yeah, I'm leaning Washu, little Washu, man. She's the brains of the operation, and she comes up with all sorts of experiments, and when she doesn't have an answer, she's like, "Oh, let's just pray about her. Let's watch.
yeah.
Let's cheer. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that. I love that part in
yeah,
the episode where they go Tenchi goes fights Kagato, and actually Ryoko fights Kagato too, and Ayeka. Dude, yeah, man. I mean, little Washu, like
hmm
Washu's a dude. I mean, she's so hysterical. But we did get to see Washu is a little bit also she has a little something emotional impact of her too because of the loss of her child in that one episode. So, well, she's a great character, man. And I feel you on Ryoko, man. Ryoko just was always like my favorite, and I think that was like the first time I really got into the romance aspect of anime too. I like because I shipped Ryoko with Tenchi hard, man. I was like, these two like need to be together. These two, it makes so much sense. Whenever they're together, it's comedy gold or it's emotional gold, especially like in Tenchi universe when Ryoko helped Tenchi get to that one planet to fight. I forgot. I think it was Kagoto too, and to get Ayeka back. And Ryoko really was. She ended up bleeding, and you thought she died at the end of that episode. But
Mhm.
dude, it was. Remember that one episode though when Tenchi when Tenchi first encounters Ryoko, she's a demon. She's a demon. He awakens her. She's like all skeleton bones, but then she turns into the Ryoko we know and on my picture as well. And they fight at the school, and like I love the parts when they're fighting and Ryoko gets blown up. Right, there's a gas leak, and Tenchi's like, "Oh, whoa, look, what's over there?" Because he's cornered. He's like, "What's over there?" And Ryoko, he's like thinking to himself, "That's like I just used the oldest trick in the book. There's no way she's gonna fall for that." And you see Ryoko like, "Where? I don't want to miss it. Where?" And Tenchi's like, "Oh my god, she bought it!" And like he leaves. There's a gas leak, and her little lightsaber just sparks, and it blows up the classroom. And Tenchi's just like, he's like, oh man, that's a shame. She was kind of cute. And then like he does this like little clap and little prayer. He's like, oh, it's a bad habit. And then you see Ryoko come out of the flames because she's a demon. She has all these powers. And you see fucking Tenchi just like, oh shit. And he's like booking it. He's trying to go down the stairs. Ryoko's just pissed. And she's like, that's not how you treat a lady. Goes freaking zipping down the hallway, runs past the mirror and looks at the mirror, and she's just like, oh my god. And she cleans herself up, she pats herself down, and the end of that fight basically Tenchi destroys her hand, gets the jewel goes onto his Tenchi sword. But what the funniest thing was basically when Tenchi goes back home. When he goes back home, opens the door, lays on his bed, feels something on his bed. He's like, what the fuck? Gets up. He's like, oh shit. Gets the covers, takes the covers off, and it's Ryoko. Ryoko's just lying on the bed, passed out, rolls over, and you could just see her cleavage, and like Tenchi's like, oh. And you see Ryoko wake up, and Ryoko's like, hi Tenchi, like all like flirtatious and shit. And Tenchi's like, oh my god, does his little prayer thing again. I mean, it was that those moments are just like the best, and that's why I shipped Tenchi and Ryoko so much, and that's why I love Ryoko and how devilish she really is throughout the series, and how comedic she is, um, but how serious she can get too. And I did love all her powers that she had. She can go through walls and all that stuff, like you said, JJ. What do you think about Tenchi? What do you think about Tenchi himself? Because Tenchi is supposed to be the main guy out of this whole thing, and all the girls loved him. And I loved how some of my friends were like, I don't understand why all these girls love Tenchi. What's so great about this motherfucker? What do you think? What do you think about Tenchi Masaki, JJ?
Well, obviously, I wish I was Tenchi in his spot. Of course, like
Oh,
all the dudes.
hell yeah,
So,
man. Hell yeah.
yeah, so like, yeah, man, Tenchi. I like Tenchi as a character. I think the one thing that stands out, he's an honest dude. He's that small dude, working out in the countryside, helping out his grandfather.
Yeah.
He also, but he lives in the city with his dad. But this is like in the earlier Tenchi Muyo series. But yeah, he's the type of dude. He's a carefree guy. He's a modest person, and he's willing to help out anyone, no matter what the circumstances are. So that's one thing that sticks out in my mind about Tenchi.
Yeah.
Uh, and then, as far as what the romances go, I mean, he handles himself very well. I mean, if this was any other guy, he probably would have picked a
Oh,
girl already and
oh
already had
yeah, man. Dude,
accidental
he would pick all
pregnancies.
those girls probably. He would make it happen. He'd go polygamy. He would do it. He would do a little big love. He would have been the Bill Paxton of anime. I'm telling you, he would have done a little big love, bro. He would have some sister wives. Um, dude, I know, did a whole series. You're just like, Tenchi, what the hell, man? Like Ryoko's throwing herself on you. Ayeka, little subtle, but you know that girl wants you. She wants the D. And you even have Washu, and you have Mihoshi. You know you can get Mihoshi. You know you can just hands down get Mihoshi.
Yeah.
But he does. He handles himself quite well as a gentleman, shall. And but yet there is a lot of hints of where he would have went with the relationship. I think it, yeah, Ayeka's an interesting character. Ayeka, that's Ryoko's rival. Did you think that Tenchi ever, if Ayeka had ever had a chance at getting with Tenchi at the end of any of these series?
Uh, let's see. As far as the first one, I mean, yeah, she had a shot at Tenchi. I mean, I know there was that one scene where they were all alone and that when it was raining outside and they had to go
Oh,
hide from the rain.
oh
And I
yeah.
think he was kind of,
Mm.
I think he was looking
Little
for,
little R. Kelly, huh? I see
yeah,
nothing wrong with a little bump and grind. Like, yeah, that was gonna happen. That was gonna happen.
should have happened. It probably
Fucking
should have
Ryoki
happened.
wanted a cock block though.
Yeah, little Ryoki over in there had to mess it all up. Yeah, I think that part she had a good opportunity, and I'm trying to think of another part in the Tenchi universe when they were alone. I can't quite remember. Was it that beauty contest? I'm not even sure.
I
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
there is some moments where like they look at each other's eyes and stuff and like they're complimenting each other. It's like an innocence kind of love, and like
yeah,
Ryoko is kind of like in the background, like the fuck is going on here. She has that look like oh hell no, like but you feel the tension. You feel the tension between Ayeka and Tenchi. What do you think about Ayeka as a character, JJ? Like, did you even like her? Because I know it was a little different with the dub and sub. But did you like Ayeka as a character?
uh, some ways I did, some ways I didn't. I mean, I did like the fact that she would fight for those that cared about her and stuff, deep
Mm-hmm.
down. But at times she could be very cold and she could be rather callous with her words. She's a royal blood after all. She comes from a royal family, so obviously she's gonna be spoiled and
Yeah,
even bratty at times. So yeah, that gets kind of annoying with her sometimes. But other than that,
she can be
like
an
I said,
old maid, man. She can be an old nag.
she definitely nags a lot too. So, but overall, like when the push comes to shove, she will protect those that she loves. So it's not like she's completely useless. I mean, she does possess some backbone to her.
Yeah, and no matter what, I think if you watch every OVA, everything from Tenchi Muyo, the franchise, she cares for Ryoko. They're friends. They're friends. They nag. They fight, of course, over Tenchi. But when it comes down to it, I think it really showcases that in Tenchi Muyo in Love 2. I know it's another title for it, but it's Tenchi Muyo in Love 2. That's when Tenchi goes missing. He's in that like another dimension, and Ryoko and Ayeka are together trying to find him. And there is a moment where Tenchi kind of rejects Ryoko and Ayeka tells them just to go away so he could be with I forgot her name. And Ryoko's down, and she's pretty much the only one that could bring Tenchi back because she could fly and stuff. And Ayeka just like looks at her like, you're the only one that could do it. I can't do this. Like, you're the only one. Like, she knows that Ryoko has a special bond with Tenchi. And but not only that, like that moment also felt like it was Ayeka as a friend to Ryoko stating the truth, stating the honesty there. And I think overall, if you just look at it, they both are friendly. Like they both care for each other one way or another. Like they don't want to see each other harmed, but they definitely don't want to see each other win Tenchi's heart. So Ayeka is, she's a great counterpart to Ryoko. Like Ryoko is the fun, outgoing, somebody you want to hang out and have a beer with. And Ayeka somewhat is a serious but by the book type person. But yeah, you can still have a little fun with. It's just you're not gonna go out and she's not gonna party like a rock star like Ryoko is. She's gonna, let's go to a movie instead of going to a club type kind of gal. So it was definitely two opposites, and I thought it's beautiful, man. I thought those two worked so great together as rivals, like Naruto and Sasuke, like anybody in any anime who has a counterpart to them. They didn't necessarily have to be evil, even though Ryoko is somewhat kind of bad. But it was great. It was great to watch. It was definitely hands down great to watch.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like in simplest terms, Ryoko was that wild, naughty girl. Aika was that proper ladylike girl. You know, that's pretty much they're like yin and yang in a sense with their rivalry. So yeah, I agree with that there.
Most definitely. And sticking with the characters. So of course we talked about Tenchi a little bit. We talked about Ryoko and Ayeka, of course, because those are one of the main ones. How do you feel about Sasami? Sasami is the younger sister of Ayeka, I believe, younger half sister. She grows up to be, I believe, Tsunami, and Tsunami is this like old, like super powerful being. There is a little backstory with Sasami and what happened to her. I think she died at one point, and she got brought back to life. Like it's a lot of things in Tenchi Muyo sometimes is confusing as shit. All right, don't get me wrong. Like the Jirai royal family, the Jirai tree, a lot of that stuff is a little confusing as hell. Um, but like Sasami as a character as well is she's the cook. That's what we know from her. She's the cook. Don't let anybody else touch the kitchen because Sasami's the one that knows what she's doing. She means she's boss, man. Like she can chase Gordon Ramsay out of the building. She can compete in one of these cook shows, Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, whatever, and she'll win. So Sasami's a badass cook, and she has some badass powers as well. So, JJ, how do you feel about Sasami? What did you think about Sasami overall and all the OVAs, and all that stuff?
Yeah, I like Sasami overall as a character. Yeah, I do. In some ways, I liked her better than Aika, just because she was a lot more open minded about things. Like she was willing to listen to you if you had a problem, and she'll even give you her solutions to that problem in a sense. So that's one thing I liked about Sasami a lot there. And like you said, she cooks some of the best food you can have, like any kind of food recipe. She'll be in there making it and probably do it better than what you told her to do. You know, so she's a very intuitive girl. You know, very intelligent girl, and yeah, and she looks even better as Tsunami. You know, so she grows up. I mean, if you had to pick a girl between her and Aika, like in terms of looks, I'll say yeah, she actually look better than Aika. You
Yeah,
know,
when
to
she
some
goes to
degree.
Tsunami, she beats on Ayeka all kinds.
Yeah, you know, got stronger powers than her. I mean, you can't
Well,
lose with Sasami apparently.
yeah. Well, I'll get to Ayeka's new look later. We'll talk about the recent series that came out. But I love about what I really like with Sasami is the duo. I like Sasami and Ryoki, man. I love Ryoki.
Hmm.
Ryoki is a mascot based baby. It's a mascot. It's a mascot for anime right there. I love Ryoki, and I love, like you said, JJ, how Ryoki turns into a fucking ship and loves to eat carrots. It's everything about Ryoki. It looks like a cat, but it's like a cat mixed with a gremlin. Like it's a little gizmo right there. I mean, Ryoki's awesome. But I do love the dynamic between Sasami and Ryoki. What's so surprisingly, since it's supposed to be Ryoko and Ryoki, but it's actually Sasami and Ryoki most of the time.
Hmm.
So, um, so we got Ryoki. We talked a little bit about Washu too. And a little bit of Keone. Fucking Mihoshi though. Like Mihoshi is such a klutz. She is the character that if something bad happens or something breaks, you hear a break on the corner or something like that, or just that's her. She did it. It's automatically she did it. She broke that shit. You know she did. She's right there. She's standing right there. She broke that shit. But you gotta love Mihoshi. Mihoshi is so funny. Her comedy relief is great. She's so. I think the voice actress too for the dub is fantastic for her. Like she sounds really ditzy, and of course with Mihoshi and Keone, it's always great to see as well. I never thought she had a chance with Tenchi, but it was funny when she would kind of little thing like she would discuss it like little moments there here and there. How she, oh yeah, when Tenchi saved me, this and that, and Ryoka and Ayeka are just like chilling and like, God damn it, this girl too. Like I thought Mihoshi is a very one of the funniest, very likable character, and you never want any harm to be done to Mihoshi. What about you, JJ? Mihoshi, man. I know you think dits. I know you think fall on the face, Mihoshi, but what else you got?
Yeah, I agree with you with how clumsy she can be at times. But yeah, I mean, despite all her klutziness, I mean, yeah, she also has a willingness to fight. You know, however she gets it done, even if it's accidental, like she doesn't even think about it. Like it's just reactionary when somebody's in danger. Like she's gonna step in and do whatever she can, even at times she's completely useless and she's just in the way. You know, she has that uncanny ability to just step in and try to fight whatever bad guys there is, things like that. And as far as what her and Tenchi, like it's so playful. You know, Tenchi just can't help but be like, yeah, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tenchi ain't taking that serious, man. He's like, damn, I have to watch another. I'm like, I'm watching a child right now, or something like
Yeah.
that. Um, but you're right about that, man. Because Mihoshi, when Kagato went to go steal away Ryoko, and Ryoko was fighting Tenchi, he swiped her memory, like made her obey him. Yeah, you had Mihoshi, man. Mihoshi right there, Ayeka behind her and stuff. And she's like, oh, and, Galaxy Police, lay down your arms, this and that, surrender, Kagato. And then you got Kagato just talking shit. Like, Mihoshi, the world's best cop, or former world best cop. Your
Hmm.
skills obviously have demeanored or whatever. And Mihoshi's like, bitch, and starts firing at Kagato. And Kagato's like, yeah, that's not hurting me. So Mihoshi does go right. She takes charge sometimes. Still can't believe she's a Galaxy police officer, though. Like, really? Like, but hey, maybe Keone helped her out, huh?
Yeah, you would think, or she, like I said, she had to be the garbage girl and clean up all her mess, because
Yeah.
she's so special. You know.
Um. So OVAs. We got Tenchi Muyo OVA 1, which is technically called Tenchi Muyo Ryoki. We have OVA 2, which is Tenchi Universe. And we have also OVA 3, Tenchi in Tokyo. Then you also have the spinoffs. You have Tenchi GXP. You have Tenchi War on Geminar. You have Pretty Sasami. You have all this shit, man. There's a lot of Tenchi out there. And then you have the newest one, Oi, Tenchi Muyo, that just came out, I think, a year or 2 years ago. So, JJ, tell the people, what is your favorite OVA? Is it Tenchi Ryoki, Tenchi Universe, Tenchi in Tokyo? What's the one you gravitate to and that you would rewatch in a heartbeat?
Overall, I like the Tenchi Muyo Ryo Oki. I think
Okay.
I like that because with Tenchi, you saw he went from being his progression of being from a boy to, in a sense, a man, or or taking the place of Yosho, the prince, to Jirai. So I like
Yeah.
that aspect about that series there. And with Tenchi Universe, it was kind of more towards the girls' development in a sense. Not, I mean, Tenchi developed as well, but it
Yeah.
was more towards around the girls and how they interacted with each other in different ways and things like that.
Yeah.
So those two, yeah, I would definitely rewatch over in heartbeat, especially the first OVA. Didn't really like Tenchi in Tokyo. I don't even think I finished the whole series because of that new
I
chick.
don't even think Toonami aired the whole series of Tenchi in Tokyo, honestly.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's probably why.
Yeah. Um, Man, that's a great point. That's a very, very great point, JJ. Like, you're right about that, bro. Like, Tenchi Ryoki was more of a development of Tenchi himself, and you got to know more of the Jirai, I think, powers and where he stands.
Hmm.
Where Tenchi Universe was more adventure comedy, more of the girls progressing to, and more, I think, a more romantic aspect to it. Tenchi in Tokyo, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. I really like Tenchi in Tokyo. Like, I know a lot of people hate that series, but honestly, I really liked Tenchi in Tokyo. I didn't necessarily like Sakura, whatever the fuck her name was, Sakura.
I thought it was
That she's
Sakio or something.
Sakura was something like that. I mean, she had
Yeah.
a cool look. I liked her look. You know, I don't know. I guess it was like this bitch trying to take Tenchi away from Ryoko or something like that. I don't know. But I did like Tenchi in Tokyo. I thought some of the comedy in there worked. I thought some of the designs worked as well. Definitely a different style than the two OVAs that we got. War on Geminar is really good, man. Have you ever seen that?
I don't think so. When did that one come out?
I think that came out like 3 to 4 years ago, and it's about Tenchi's cousin, and he gets stranded in this planet. And that one's really good. The animation's great. It's like a mecha kind of Tenchi Muyo. It's I think Tenchi's cousin's name's Kasaki or something like that. Um, and you got, of course, more girls. You know, he has to deal with, like, he's on another planet. He's originally on Earth, of course, because he's Tenchi Muyo's cousin, but he gets stranded on a planet. It's hinted that Washu placed him there for some reason. So War on Gemini is like that really took me back to like the old Tenchi Muyo series. So I thought War on Gemini was great. Tenchi GXP I thought was garbage. I can't watch that shit. I'm sorry. I can't watch that shit. It's just like, no, I can't do it. I won't do it. I can't. It's like it wasn't my cup of tea. Uh Oi Tenchi Muyo, the recent Tenchi Muyo series, it was okay. It was fine. It was kind of bullshit that they would give us like 100 episodes or 50 episodes, whatever it was, but it was only like 5 minutes an episode, maybe like 10 minutes. It was like, what? And honestly, we didn't even, it just didn't come together as much as I wanted it to. But if I had to pick from all these OVAs, and you make a solid, great point, JJ. So you almost swayed me. You almost swayed me, man. But I'm going Tenchi Universe, bro. I'm going Tenchi Universe because Tenchi Universe is just so much fun, so much adventure, a lot of great moments in there, a lot of just, and honestly, even though the villain wasn't really fleshed out, I
Yeah.
liked a lot of things that I like the journey. I love the journey getting to the villain, even though we didn't really know that Kagato, that OVA Kagato's. We got told about who he is and what he is and blah blah blah. But honestly, like the adventure and everything that went on in Tenchi Universe, like I could watch that over and over again. Or Ryoki, I can too, but I think Tenchi Universe was just a little bit more funner, dude.
Yeah, I see your point there. Yeah, Tenchi Universe was more fleshed out. Like I said, that was more towards the overall group, like the girls and their development and everything. And yeah, as with Kagato, the villain, yeah, his design in Tenchi Universe, I did kind of like it a little bit better than the first one.
He was
As
more
far as
beast,
him,
bro.
yeah. So yeah, he was beast in both of them. But yeah, I say his design in Tenchi Universe was better. I mean, I'll give you that. You wasn't no slouch in the first one either, though.
Yeah,
Um,
it's funny because in Tenchi Ryoki, like Kagato reminded me of a Sherlock Holmes character. He was
Sherlock
rocking
Holmes.
the glasses, bro.
Oh
he
yeah,
was
yeah.
definitely more
He had the
wittier.
low key Sherlock Holmes look,
Yeah, man. He's like,
man.
you bitches want to chess me and play some chess, and I'll beat you.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, did you see Oi Tenchi Muyo, the newest Tenchi Muyo series at all?
Yeah, I looked at it a little bit, man. Like there's even more chicks on there. And they all go to the same
Yes,
school he goes to. I'm looking at this like, God
yes,
damn, Chinchy. You got even more
yes.
chicks chasing you around, bro.
Exactly, man. I mean, and you know what's crazy? It's like, okay, so Tenchi Ryoki, I think the one we saw was 13 episodes, right? 13
Uh-huh.
episodes on Toonami. But there's a continuation of Tenchi Ryoki. There is like another, like, I don't know, like 13 episodes that continues that series.
Okay.
So, of course, the dub version, Patria Burchard is not the English dub of Ryoki on that one. They changed the English actress. Uh, so I was like, oh yeah, a continuation of Tenchi Ryoki. Watch Tenchi Ryoki, the second part, and oh my god, dude, they just introduced so much shit in there, like so many girls and like plot lines that they didn't need to introduce. Like, it's a mess. Honestly, the second part of Tenchi Ryoki is a fucking mess. Like, you can mop that shit up, but that shit's still gonna be wet. Like,
uh,
and we're gonna get to the news of what I have for you, but uh, yeah, man, like it's just ridiculous. Like there was more girls, and I think Tenchi Muyo actually is a continuation of Tenchi Ryoki too. So it's even more of a mess. There's even more
oh man.
girls. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? What happened to the chill, relax, you know, not too many girls in nature of the series as it presented the first OVAs, the first three OVAs? Nah, dude, they just completely just came in there like, Tenchi Muyo, Tenchi Masaki, he needs more girls. That's the problem. He needs more girls. We need him to be relatable. because everybody out there has like 10 girls, right? 20 girls, right? We need him to be
Yeah, it's
relatable.
nothing.
Dude, like this, dude, it
Man.
gets insane, bro. It gets so fucking insane. And if you try to read the manga and you try to figure out what the hell's going on in there, good luck. You better have some hard, an actual copy in your hands. Because if you try to read that shit up, it's like, fuck, dude, what the hell are they talking? What? There's another Ryoko. What? There's another Ryoki. Ryoko has a dog. Like, it's so insane, man. The Tenchi universe is so insane, convoluted, like messy. But hey, at least we got those first 13 episodes of Ryoki.
No, that's right. You know, another thing I didn't like, they gave Tenchi glasses. They turned him into Gohan, man. that's
Right?
that's one thing I
Right?
noticed. Like they Gohan up Tenchi, man.
Okay, so I can see why though, because he's a teacher, but honestly, okay, I love how you pointed this out, man. Because an I Tenchi Muyo, this is when I first started actually reviewing. So the first actually see, first anime I really got into, and the first really reviews I started doing, and I started putting out the images, the designs of the new how the characters are going to look for Ai Tenchi Muyo. And man, I don't know, bro. Like some of the designs, like I don't like Washu's design. I was like, damn, they made her sluttier. Like, does Washu really need to be sluttier? Honestly, like, come on. Like, she doesn't need to be sluttier. Like, just give her. She's got the lab coat, but then she's got the like lingerie, the stockings and shit. Like, they just made her. They made her super slutty Washu. They made her super slutty Washu. I was
Uh-huh.
like, what the fuck is going on here, bro? And Ryoko's design, I liked. Of course, it's not her traditional clothes that she wears or anything like that, but it wasn't too bad. And then you also have, I think the best overall design out of all of them was Ayeka, because Ayeka needed a makeover, man. Because in the old OVAs and stuff, she looked like an old maid. She looked like she was a granny or wanted to be a granny. She wanted to be a grandmama. But in the new one, they actually made it a little bit more sexier, made her clothes a little bit more revealing. The colors did nicely on her design. But you got Tenchi with glasses, you got Slutty Washu, you got Mihoshi being Mihoshi. It don't fucking matter what Mihoshi wears. She's still gonna be an idiot. Um, so I don't know. How did you feel about the designs, JJ? Did you like any of those designs that they presented?
Yeah, I agree with you with Aika. Yeah, she looks better in that series, and Sasami kind of looks better too. Uh, yeah, with Tenchi, I wasn't feeling that, man. I was like, they
Nah,
nerded up
man.
Tenchi
And
so
you know how,
bad.
dude, they made him skinny. They made him
Yeah,
skinny as fuck, bro. And, in Tenchi and Tokyo, he's a little chubby. I won't lie. They beefed him up a
yeah,
little bit,
he
like
put on some
chubbied
weight.
him up. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But in Tenchi Ryoki and Tenchi Universe, he's just the right size. But in Tenchi Muyo, that dude's a skinny motherfucker, dude.
Oh man, I don't know what happened to that design. Yeah, Ryoko was always slutty, so it didn't matter. I mean, but yeah, her design was alright. I like the design, and yeah, like I said, Washu. I'm like, damn, did they give Washu bust? Did they let her show cleavage? Is
Yeah,
she
right.
supposed to be a teenager?
Is she
Okay.
like in the middle right there? You know how she has the ability to turn grown up or small. I'm
uh,
like, they made her like right in the middle, man.
yeah, she was having an internal battle whether or not she was gonna stay grown or stay teenage. Like she's like,
Yeah.
screw it, I'm just gonna let it all out. Let it hang all out.
So I Tenchi Muyo, like, I don't know. It was okay for what it was. Of course it didn't feel like a overall series to the Tenchi part of the Tenchi Muyo, like, series at all. It felt like a special to me. It felt like just a special. It never felt like anything to take seriously. Uh they did my boy Tenchi wrong, bro. They did my boy Tenchi wrong in that series. It's like, what the fuck they do to Tenchi? But what about any of the new girls? Did you like any of the new girls?
I like the chick, the samurai chick. The She kind of
Yeah,
has silver hair. Yeah, she was cool.
yeah.
Obviously, because she was always ready to fight, and she was always protecting that president, that pink hair girl,
Oh,
who was
I didn't
always
really
around
care for her
Tenchi a lot.
either.
Huh?
Yeah, the one that they went. She knew Tenchi from the past or whatever.
Yeah, Yeah, that part was confusing too. So I was like, oh, okay. So they knew each other way back when. But some of the other girls, like the chick with the blonde chick with the glasses on top, but she's supposed to be like a scientist or something. And she
Oh
always got
yeah.
that tall girl with her, that blue haired girl. Them girls was funny though. They was always getting into some mess.
The blue haired girl. Yeah. She was
Yeah,
afraid of spiders and shit.
them
um
girls is funny.
I I like the chick with who reminded me a lot of Ryoko is the one with the like the club.
Uh-huh. Yeah. She even
She had
got
like the
into an
leopard.
arm wrestling contest with her. They were trying to
Yeah,
arm
yeah.
wrestle.
I like that part. I like that a
That was
lot.
funny.
I thought that was
Yeah.
great. Yeah, like the newer girls are not too bad, but fuck, do we really need to introduce more girls? That's all. You're right, man. Like, there's just way, 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 way too many. Actually, in Ryoki, I forgot to mention that the second part of Ryoki, they actually have Tenchi Muyo get engaged to. He's supposed to be engaged to this one chick from, um, who's supposed to be from part of the Jirai family as well, tree. So they're
Mm.
all uh, there's that plot line. There's where his sister, he has a sister that's still alive. Oh my god, like they totally just like fucking threw so much shit at us. Like I'm trying to dodge all this shit, but I can't dodge it because they're throwing fucking boulders at me, man.
Huh. I'm telling you, it's a lot
It's
to
crazy,
deal
bro.
with. You know.
Yeah. Um, have you seen any of the Tenchi Muyo movies?
Not to my knowledge. Not that I know of. Right off the bat.
There
So
was Tenchi Muyo in Love, which was the first one, and it was about going back in time to kind of save his mom and his dad from this. I forgot what the villain's name was, but that one's a pretty good one. It was definitely a time traveling type of movie, so
mm,
it was really good. And then you got to see Tenchi Muyo's mom. You got to see Tenchi's mom, and you got to see his younger version of his dad. And I thought there were some great, sincere moments in there. I really liked Tenchi's mom. Then you had Tenchi Muyo, Daughter of Darkness. And this is the usually the popular one. This is the one that everybody kind of remembers. And this is the one where a young girl comes, not a girl, but a young woman comes to the shrine, asks for Tenchi. Tenchi's like, oh, yeah, can I help you, ma'am? And she goes, I'm your daughter. And Tenchi's like, what? What did you say? And basically, the girls and everybody, of course, Ryoko's jealous as fuck. Like, Ryoko's like, what the fuck is this? Don't you stop saying that shit. You're his daughter. And they have to figure out, okay, is this really your daughter or where'd she come from? And Washu does the test and he's like, yeah, congratulations, you're a papa. I don't know, I can't find the DNA on the mom, but it's definitely your DNA, in there. So that one's a great flick too. That one's actually one of the popular ones. And then you add Tenchi Muyo in Love 2, and that's the one I was referencing earlier, where Tenchi gets taken into another dimension, where his grandpa's ex-lover kind of takes him in. Ryoko, Ayeka, everybody's trying to go into this other dimension to get Tenchi back, and it's definitely so much different than even the series and the films themselves. It's so low, like so chill, and I guess I can just say it's just so chill and just very slow. It's very slow. It's more of a romance movie than anything. It is. It is a romance movie, so you got really no action in there, and
mm.
it's more of a drama piece. But it's actually I think it's the best out of all three of them. But Tenchi Muyo Daughter of Darkness is really good as well. So I mean, you got the Tenchi Muyo movies, and they're really great, and you can find them actually all together on the internet and stuff, like a 3-pack. So go check
Oh,
out that
cool.
Amazon. Go check out that eBay.
Yeah, now that you mention, I think
Um,
I do remember seeing that Daughter of Darkness. But it's been a long time, so I guess memory's fuzzy.
yeah, man,
But
it was one of the popular ones. I don't know if they showed it on Toonami or not, but it was one of the best ones. I think that's second on my list of being the best one.
okay.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
all right, JJ, is there anything you remember from Tenchi Muyo, like any moments that were your favorites at all?
Oh man, right out the bat with the introduction of Kagato, especially when that part where the first one where they fought Yosho, and it was actually Tenchi's grandfather. Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah,
dope. And he gave him that speech like, "This is your destiny. You need to go over there and prove yourself. The time has come." Stuff like that. Yeah, that
yeah.
that that sticks out in my mind right off the bat. And then of
And
course the more
Ayeka's like,
comical ones.
oh my God, you're my brother Yosho. And
Uh-huh.
Yosho's like, yes, I am. And she's like, we're supposed to marry. I'm too old now. Here's my grandson, Tenchi. Like, here you
Yeah.
go. Yeah, that was a beast part, bro.
Yeah. And then with the more comical ones like with them singing in the spaceship on Tenchi Universe, especially Washu, them singing, and then you had the beauty contest, and then I can't remember if this was in the first one or the Tenchi Universe. They're talking about Washu's past when back when she was like in a planet
Mhm.
and
That
she
was the
ended up
first
losing
one.
her family and whatnot,
Yeah, that was the
and then
first
they
one.
had to take care of the baby. I think that was in the first one.
Yeah, it was Tenchi Ryoki. That was the first one. Yeah,
Okay, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. When she had to watch over this little baby. Was it a cousin of Tenchi? I can't quite remember.
Yeah, it was a cousin. You know what? That might be the same baby too who went to war on Gemini. I'm not sure though. Don't quote me on that.
Oh, okay.
Not sure. Not sure. Just throwing
Not
it
yeah.
out
We
there,
have
honestly.
to check on that.
Yeah, fact check that shit, people, because I'm not sure.
And then
um,
what other part? Like, oh yeah, the last episode of Ryoku when that dude, the father, the Jirai, King of Jirai, he came down there. He told Aika, uh, "I will let you be with Tenchi under one condition. You must fight." I think dude's name was Serio.
mhm.
Dude with the pink hair, he came down.
Yeah,
He was trying to challenge Tenchi, but Washu, they all predicted who was gonna win the fight, and Washu's like, "I picked Mahoshi."
yeah, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, I mean,
Like,
oh, she does. She wins the fight. She does it.
yeah.
She called it, bro.
Everybody's looking
Mm,
at her crazy. That dude getting washed up when Miyoshi's ship crashed into the lake. Oh my
yeah,
man.
that was great. That was some great moments right there.
Yeah,
Um, oh, there's so many to fucking choose.
yeah,
I'm gonna go episodes too. I'm gonna say the zero episodes, the back to back when we get introduced to Dr. Jiro, I think his name.
yeah. Uh-huh.
And he had his robot Zero, and she turns into Ryoko. Like she is able to mold herself to Ryoko, and they capture
Hmm.
Ryoko. I fucking love those moments where she first gets like, her mission is to go get Washu, to capture Washu, bring him back to the doctor. And that first introduction where she's going, she's zipping through the house, everybody's like, where's Ryoko at? Maybe she drank all her sake and got drunk at the road again or something like that. Um, so Zero is watching and she's watching fucking Washu, Sasami, and all them watching TV. And then you see Tenchi come out of nowhere and like, oh, Ryoko, there you are. And you see Zero just blush and just lose it. Like she's like, oh shit, what the fuck's going on? Why am I feeling this way? And Ryoko's like, hey, what's wrong with you? And Zero's like, puts the little canister up, starts walking to Tenchi, and just face first right onto the freaking floor. And like gets up, tries to play it all cool. You see the band-aid, like the animated band-aid on her face. You see Tenchi kind of look the other way. Oh my god, that was embarrassing. I like that. I really like those moments. Uh but if I had to right off the bat, if I had to really talk about like the one of the most popular ones and one of the most funniest moments is when Washu was a nurse, and is when actually when Tenchi Muyo was, all Washu was collecting samples, collecting saliva samples, collecting hair samples, has Tenchi in his boxer briefs, you know, hanged by all these contraptions and stuff. And Sasami goes in there and like, lunchtime, and like, okay. And or no, Tenji's like, to the Washu, like, yeah, are we done yet? Like Sasami is making lunch and I'm ready I'm hungry. And Washu's like, oh yeah, I think I got everything. She's trying to figure out Light Wing Hawks, how it was, presented when Tenchi was able to do it. She's like, oh yeah, I think I
Wow.
got anything. Ooh, except the most important one. So you see fucking Washu in her nurse's getup, has straps on some gloves, actually makes the snapping sound. And Tenchi's like, what are you doing? Washu grabs his boxer briefs, pulls it towards her, and he's like, oh, I gotta collect the semen sample. And Tenchi's like, what? Washu, like, you don't want me to do it? And Tenchi's like, oh, no, I don't want you to do it. And Washu looks at him, straight face, like, yeah, you want me to do it. Looks in the boxer briefs, is like, oh, hello. And tells her, let's shake this lily down or something like that. Puts her hand, starts stroking him, and Mihoshi's like right there sitting down, like, what are you doing? And while she's like, oh shit, Huggins is startled and saying, Miyoshi, how'd you get in here? Oh, your door was open. What? My door was open? It's like a dimension. It's another dimension. She's like, oh, what are you doing, Washu? And Washu's like, nothing, playing doctor. Like, and then you see Washu just fiddling away with all the keyboards and stuff, and Washu's just getting frustrated. Like, what are you doing, Thunder? What are you doing, Blockhead? What are you doing? What'd you do? Wait a minute, what's going on? Oh my god! Like, what? Mihoshi totally destroys all her shit. That moment alone was just like, that's Tenchi Muyo right there. That says everything about Tenchi Muyo. And just bringing it back up, man. Washu and Mihoshi, when those two are together, when you have a mad genius and you have a ditz like Mihoshi, that is fucking comedy gold, man. It is so funny to watch those two just go at each other.
Yeah, I totally feel you there, man. It's always funny when Washer has to say, "Stop, leave it alone." No, I'm a Hoshi.
What you do? What you get?
And
Oh,
the
I
Hoshi's
told you to
just
stop
not even
playing with
paying
that.
attention. She's not even paying attention. She's like, "Oh, what does this button do? I think I did something wrong." Yeah,
So
it's
funny.
so great.
So funny. So they were talking about, and then I guess a lot of great moments too. A lot of great episodes was, of course, the swimsuit pageant was great, fantastic. When Ryoko has to go get food for everything was fantastic in Tenchi Universe too. She ends up blowing all the money that they gave her, and she ends up stealing money from the Bank of Jirai. um, Also, what was funny too was in the first one, Ryoki, when all of them are in the bathtub and like Tenchi's in there and Ryoko's, butt ass naked and stuff, and Ayeka is gonna go into the bath. Like they're in that spa area. They go to that spa area and stuff. And Ayeka's like, oh shit, like Tenchi's in there, and Sam's like, come out here, come out here. And Ryoko's like, come out here. She's like, oh no, Tenchi's out there. And they end up getting her to go out there. Tenchi, that's another Tenchi and Ayeka moment where Tenchi's kind of like, googling at her, and Ayeka's coming into the bath. You have that soft, sincere music playing, and then you have Ryoko kind of grab her towel, and the towel comes flying off. And then so Ayeka's butt ass naked, and Tenchi just like full frontal looking at the downstairs, and he's like, holy shit. Blood starts rolling out Tenchi's nose. Ayeka's screaming. Ayeka slaps the shit out of Ryoko, and Ryoko slaps the shit out of Ayeka and then backhands her. It's awesome, man. And those two just go at it, and then Ryoko summons a demon that she can't even fucking send back, so they have that mess there. um
Oh
and
yeah, well,
then
you know what
what,
was
for
funny
Tenchi
about
in
that?
Tokyo, what's up?
You know what was funny about that? Man, I think Mahoshi was in there too, and they
Yeah.
all got drunk in there. She drank like it seemed like she drank like 30 or 40 cups of sake.
Oh, that
Was
was
that?
after, because she comes crashing down. That was after.
Oh,
That's when
okay.
Kagato got first appeared.
Yeah.
But dude, yeah, I remember that, man. Like they're just drinking sake. At first, it's Ryoko and Ayeka, right? And then Ryoko kind of explains her story to Ayeka, like, yeah, I know Tenchi when he was this little. And fucking Ayeka just starts talking shit, like, you want to know what the problem is? Why Tenchi treats you like that? Maybe probably because your age. You're like 100,000,000 years old, and nobody wants to be chased after by a granny. Like she's just start talking shit.
Uh-huh.
then Mihoshi's like, oh, you guys talking about Tenchi? And they start drinking. Like, yeah, you're right, bro. She drinks like how many sakis, and she's like, red in the face, but she's a trooper. She could hold her liquor.
Yeah, like crazy.
Um, Another one that was great, and you see in the manga, but you don't see Ayeka's in, because Ayeka does go on a date with Tenji in the manga. But in the anime, it also happens in the manga as well. But in the anime, they did end up animating it in Tenchi in Tokyo, and that's Ryoko and Tenchi's first big date. And I thought that was great as well. We never got to see Tenchi and Ryoko on a date until that's what Tenchi in Tokyo really presented as well, was that first date. And I thought that was hysterical too. I thought it was exactly what I thought a date would end up like with Tenchi and Ryoko. Um, yeah, just a lot of, oh man, there's just so many great moments, especially with the time traveling episodes, the three-parter when Washu creates a time traveling device where everybody, or not a time traveling, but like a multi-dimension device where anybody's wishes can come true. Like Ryoko wants to be with Tenchi, of course, in a gangsta period. You have
Mhm.
Ayeka in like the samurai type period. You have Kioni, her wish is to get away from Mihoshi, her dream come true. So there's those type of episodes that are really fantastic as well. Um, damn, dude, there's like just so many Tenchi Muyo moments. Like there's a lot of material in here, and I'm I think it's crazy how much material we have and how much like OVAs and DVDs and manga merchandise, and yet still I don't think too many people know about Tenchi Muyo. How do you feel about that, JJ?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't know. I'm not sure if the effect of Tsunami had anything to do with that. After a while, Tsunami just kind of fell off the map in the television world.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if that had a lot. It probably did have a lot to do with it. But I think with Tenchi Muyo, man, it's definitely a great series, man. I can definitely see why people such as yourself are into it because of all the comedy, the romance, and even all the drama that goes along with that. So I'm not sure what else we could do. Like I know we're talking about it on the podcast, but
Yeah.
I guess the more we discuss it, maybe some folks out there say, oh, you see some more people talking about Tenchi here. So I guess maybe with all the buzz that we're using in this podcast now, maybe that can get some more folks talking about Tenchi Muyo again. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's the goal there.
Yeah, and I've seen a couple of videos like "Did you know?" or like those type of videos. Did you know? Especially
Hmm.
there's fans out there, man, because you see in the comment section and you think that they're going to talk about this other stuff, but no, they're talking about Tenchi, and they're talking about the newest one and stuff, and it's great to hear that there's still fans out there. And you're completely right, JJ. I think it's the downfall of Toonami as well. That's why Tenchi Muyo hasn't really spread as much as you want it to. I'm
Hmm.
surprised, Toonami right now doesn't present any kind of older animes like Trigun or Tenchi or Cowboy Bebop. I think they still put Cowboy Bebop on there, but they don't
Yeah.
play like Inuyasha. I think they play Inuyasha like late in the morning, but it's interesting that they're moving forward to the newer anime, which is fine. I mean, new anime, you'll probably get into, but also you got to remember there was like these old school animes that were out there that were fantastic, that were gold. That actually, when I watch Tenchi Muyo and I see the similar type setup and everything that a lot of shows like Nisekoi or Harlem shows that are out there, they're not doing it as good as Tenchi Muyo. Tenchi Muyo just had that tone, that feel, that comedy, those characters that made it above and beyond and a little bit different than a lot of other animes, newer animes that are out there right now.
Hmm.
So that being said, we did get I Tenchi Muyo, which is a newer Tenchi Muyo, but it just didn't have that same feel tone as the old Tenchi Muyos used to be. And that being the case, it looks like we're getting another Tenchi Muyo series, another OVA. I don't know if this is a continuation of Ryoki. I'm assuming it is. It might be actually a whole, just kind of rewrite or redo of everything and just presenting its own kind of series. But I don't know if you heard about this, JJ. We are getting a new Tenchi Muyo series either this year or next year, but it's happening.
Well, that's great news, and hopefully in the future it could get featured on a Toonami or Adult Swim. But you know, shows like Tenchi Muyo, man, those shows put Toonami on the map in a sense. You
Mhm.
know, if you really think about it, like those Tenchi Muyo, Dragon Ball, Gundam Wing, shows like
Mhm.
that. I mean, they put that segment on the map in terms of in the TV world here in this country. So I would hate to see that Toonami is no longer playing Tenchi Muyo even now, going into 2016. You know, the original series of Tenchi Muyo. You know, you shouldn't disrespect the classics like that in a sense. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And what's crazy is that there's still Tenchi Muyo being produced. It's like fuck, how many years has this been going? Like this is insane.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm looking forward to the new series. Of course, I don't have my hopes too high because I don't think you're ever gonna recreate like the classic OVAs. You can present something new and you can make it very good, and I think they have a chance to do that. But we'll see how it goes. And as far as bringing in an audience, bringing in people who don't know too much about Tenchi Muyo or any of the universes or any of the franchise, you're right, JJ. Hopefully, this new series is actually really well done, and Toonami wants to pick it up and bring, a new Tenchi Muyo for the new generation because our Tenchi Muyo was for the '90s generation, the 2000, even a little bit of the 2000s, but we're in 2016, which is crazy. Going
Yeah.
on to 2017, and Tenchi Muyo has been around since the 90s, and it would be just insane if this new series is on Toonami for this newer generation, and it's just as good as maybe the classics. So it'd be insane, man. I'm really looking forward to see what they do with the designs, with the actual feel, tone of the series, and overall can we finally get Tenchi to pick somebody? Shit, man. Come on. Finally, please. Can we get Tenchi to pick one of the girls or all of them? I don't give a fuck at this point. Just come on, do it.
Yeah. Or they can just do give him the Hugh Hefner treatment, just give him a mansion and all the girls he wants. They can
I
do
think they already have a picture of that.
that.
They got a picture of that floating somewhere. You know, okay, we're talking about all the good OVAs. Did you see Tenchi GXP at all?
I glanced at it. Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah, just terrible. Right?
What did they do?
It's
What did
like,
they
what
do
the
to
fuck?
him, man? What did they do to
I'm not.
Tenchi?
Yeah, fucking Tenchi, man. I mean, I know at the end of that, like the dude ends up marrying like all the women. So
Oh man.
there's a polygamy, there's a big love ending right there. But fuck, man, it's like I can't sit through that shit. I'm good about that. It's okay. I'd rather sit through Barney.
Oh man.
um, anything you have to add, JJ, about Tenchi Muyo? Maybe say anything about to the viewers about it, like just overall. I mean, this is a classic, man. This is just it's up there. It's up there with it was around with Cowboy Bebop, it was around with Trigun, it was around with Dragon Ball Z. I mean, it's been around. It was around with Inuyasha. So it's been around. And hopefully it comes for full circle. You got any final thoughts, JJ, at all?
Well, like I was saying to the audience, like, yeah, Tenchi Muyo is a great series. I say it's a very underrated series too. I mean, like I say, you have all the types of comedy, all types of drama in there. If you're into a little bit of a version, but not a whole lot, yeah, this is definitely a good show to pick up on. And as well as if you like the whole one boy gets all the ladies aspect, even without even trying, and that Tenchi is definitely that show. No
Yeah.
question about that. So if you haven't, yeah, go check it out. I know some of the old episodes on YouTube as well,
Yeah.
and probably Daily Motion and a few other sites. So if you
Mhm.
guys get a chance, go ahead and check it out. Yeah, you won't regret it. That's all I can say.
And of course, it is on downloadable on iTunes if you want to download it on iTunes. It's also on the internet, Amazon, eBay, the box sets if you like DVDs. I mean, I've got myself a DVD box set with all the OVAs and all the films. And overall, man, I mean, yeah, Tenchi Muyo. Hopefully, it does get the recognition it deserves because I believe this is one of the top animes of all time. Honestly, It's very funny. Yeah, it's very emotional when it has to be. It has characters. It has adventure. It's very chill. Very chill in a couple of at least, especially the first season. But yeah, man, Tenchi Muyo, man. I am a huge Tenchi Muyo fan, and I guess we're calling all Tenchi Muyo fans to come out here and I'm sure this won't be the only podcast we do with Tenchi Muyo because we do have the new series coming out. And maybe we'll do a podcast with Tenchi Muyo and explain that shit and what's going on there. If you guys are a little, or maybe I'll make a video where basically explaining the different kind of OVAs and how it all fits and stuff. So I want to thank JJ Wilson. JJ, you have your channel up. You and tell the audience, what we got over there, man. What are we gonna go check out when we go to your channel?
Well, I'm just getting started with my anime reviews. Right now, I'm doing Gangsta anime that recently came out, but I've done it in manga version. So I did volume 6 for the main series. Then there's a side manga called Gangsta Curse, and that's based on the younger life of Marco Adriano, the guy that works for Loretta Cristiano at the Bastard Club. So that's a side comic about his life, his story. And so far, I've done 2 chapters online so far. I'm working on the third one tonight. That should be up at the latest Monday or Tuesday. And volume 4 is out. I haven't read it. I have read it, but I haven't done it yet. I will post that as well. And also, I just started prison school. I did my first prison school review. For those that
I
haven't
saw
checked
that.
out the anime, that's a once in a decade anime right there. That's another like hit right there in the anime
Hell
world.
yeah. Hell yeah.
It is awesome, man. So
Preach it, man. Preach it.
be on the lookout for prison school, folks. We're gonna dish it out. Me and also Dan the Man reviews. So come check
Oh
us
yeah.
out.
Yeah. Wonderful channel, JJ Wilson. So check him out. I have his link in my description box so you can check out his channel. Hit that subscribe button. And I gotta say, man, that's right. Gangsta, prison school, just amazing stuff. And I always love talking about this stuff with JJ. So, and you can check out my videos on my channel. I have a lot other videos other than anime as well. I also have TV and film, a little bit of music. So go ahead and check that out. Hit the subscribe button on both our channels. And until next time, until we do another Just Sayain podcast, I want to thank JJ. Thank you, JJ, for joining me on this Tenchi Muyo podcast. It was very fun, great, informative stuff to the people about Tenchi Muyo and how they should watch this out. So thank you, JJ. I'll see you later, man.
No problem, Dan. Check you guys later.
All right, guys. We will see you guys later. And